Son of God, seated at the right hand of the Father, you are holy. Holy is the Lord. You guys like that? Son of God, seated at the right hand of the Father, you are holy. Holy is the Lord. One more time, let's take it. Son of God, seated at the right hand of the Father, you are holy. Holy is the Lord. One more time. Son of God, seated at the right hand of the Father, you are holy. Holy is the Lord. Mediclus 4.0 Pro expansion. I don't want to waste a lot of time. For those of you guys who don't know about Mediclus have been a product that has changed the game. For some of us who like to teach piano or do DAW tutorials or whatever it is, everyone has different purposes that they use Mediclus for. For the purposes that I've been using Mediclus for throughout the course of years, Mediclus I mainly use for programming. What I mean by that is, when I'm programming, I like my students and my viewers to be able to see what I'm playing. So even if I'm playing drums and I had a drum track loaded, I don't want to keep going back and forth. But let's just say this was a drum, they'll be able to see that maybe this is a kick, and this is maybe they'll be able to see that maybe this here, yeah, maybe this here is a kick, and maybe this here is a hi-hat, maybe. So maybe they might hear based on whatever I'm playing, whatever pattern I'm playing, okay? That's what I mainly use Mediclus for. So they'll be able to see, if I'm playing drums, they'll see that, so they know, okay, that's how you do key drumming. Then even if I'm playing chords, they'll be able to see, oh, he played a C, sorry about that. Oh, he played an A, oh, he played an E, oh, he played a G flat minor, oh, he played a B minor, you'll be able to see those chords, okay? So who is Mediclus for? Okay, Mediclus is for somebody who is doing online lessons, or you're a piano teacher, or you want some type of way to be able to broadcast or do lessons or something like that, stream to your students, do video lessons, whatever it is, virtually, to have a virtual representation of what you are playing. Because sometimes when people look at your hands, it's just so fast, they can't really get it, right? But when they see whatever your hands are playing marked in colors, okay, it makes it so much easier to do. With this keyboard, I'm only doing red, but you can split it into blue, maybe the left side blue, the right side red. Right now I have it all red for now, okay? But that's something for you guys to understand. But basically, it's so convenient for us, okay? And so today I'm going to give you my in-depth review on how if Mediclus is a very good software. But before that, okay, I want to go through a few songs to bless those of you guys who might need some chords. Then after that, I'm going to take time and review Mediclus, okay? So I'm doing this because I'm kind of doing some troubleshooting with Mediclus, so I want to just make sure I get that done at the very least, because I have to report something back to them. So I have to do this lesson because I have to report something back to the manufacturer on certain things that we are studying. Okay, so anyways, let's get going. So I'm going to go through a few songs. Just watch me. I'm not really going to be teaching today. Just get the chords. Get the chords. I'm going to play very simple, very straightforward. get the course, and then just be blessed. And after that, I'll go in depth with Mediclus and talk about it, okay? And you're going to see the power of Mediclus after these songs, okay? So stick around. Don't go too far, okay? My name is Stein. I've been using Mediclus for over, I want to say over 6+ years. Over 6+ years. That's many years. 4.0 just came out maybe 10 months ago. So 4.0 is a fairly new version. And for all these years, can you guys believe this? I think I only purchased Mediclus once. I forgot which version it was, but it was just kind of like a player paid version of it. I think it was like $49, $50, right? That there was only one time out of all these years that I made a payment of the product. You know, after I was using it for some time, I saw how good it was, and I did that, right? But there are certain things that 4.0 presents that you guys is just unreal. It's just, I don't know if I want to use the word surreal or unreal, but it's just mad crazy, okay? So let me go through a few lessons here. Then after that, we're going to talk about Mediclus, okay? So if you're somebody who is just here to learn about Mediclus, you might have to skip the video once it's uploaded so that you can just get to the main purpose of the video. But it's two purpose, okay? I have to do this because I have to report something back to the manufacturer. That's why I have to do this, okay? So that is the main purpose. So I have to get this done. Then after that, I'll use it as a way to review and also to recommend Mediclus to you. I've been a user of it for 6+ years, so I understand how this product works. I understand the power of Mediclus. I don't need anybody to tell me like, hey, go get it. No, I have used it, okay? And surprisingly enough, I've used just the player version, and the player version has been free all these years, right? And that's the good thing. Jamal and his team have really been a blessing unto a lot of people, and I know if you have been using the product, you can testify to that, right? Because it started out free, you know, for you to use, and eventually they had the pro version for teachers and all that. You know, there are different versions of it. There is, you know, those people who want to take it up a step up to really enable all the features, and there are those people who just need it to just play and see keys, right? And that's what I usually need it for. But with the pro expansion, the power to detach the different inputs, like the score, the chords, and the keys is just amazing for me. So I had to do it. And then they have the row keys, and then they have the vector keys. I'll talk about that in the review section of it. For now, let's go through a few songs, okay? So you guys heard me playing Son of God, see that you are holy, okay? All right, some of these songs I might not know the words, but hey, just have fun. All right, so Son of God, Son of God, see that? Okay, so Son of God, that's the first chord. See that? At the right hand. You guys saw that? Of the Father. You don't have to add this. Father, you are holy. Holy is the Lord. Son of God. You see, I change it a little bit. See that? At the right hand of the Father, you are holy. Holy is the Lord. Okay, and then let's go to the next song. Yesterday is gone. So, yesterday is gone. Another day. Yesterday is gone. Another day has come. Do something new in my life. Yesterday is gone. Another day has come. You guys got that? Another day has come. You guys got that? Another day has come. Okay. Do something new in my life. Okay, let's go. Let's move on. Do something new in my life. Something new, something new, something new in my life. Oh something new in my life. Oh Lord. Then there's a part we like to sing. We cannot do without you. We cannot do without you. We cannot do without you. Oh Lord, we cannot do without you. Cannot do without you. Cannot do without you. Oh Lord. So I'm playing the key of A, okay? And that is the second song, okay? Let's go to the next song. Above all, I don't know how to sing this song well, so don't laugh at me. Just sing with me. Oh, watch the keys because you're learning. If you are watching, just sing with me. If you are learning, just watch the keys and learn. Above all power, you guys are that? Above all powers, above all kings, above all wisdom and all the ways of man, above all wisdom. You were here before the world began. Let's do it again. Above all powers, above all kings. La 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 la. Okay. Above all and da 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 da. Da 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 da. Crucified, crucified. Okay. Laid behind the stone. You live to die. Okay. Rejected and alone, like a rose, trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me above all. One more time, crucified. Crucified, crucified, laid behind the stone. You live to die, rejected and alone, like, so this one, like arrows. You can do it like that, okay? Like arrows, okay? Trampled on the ground. You took the fall and tired of me above all. Then there's a song that goes like this. Miracle worker. Okay, let's go. Miracle worker. Miracle. Okay, let's make it upbeat a little bit. Miracle worker. Miracle worker. Come and do a miracle today. Come and do a miracle today. Destiny changer. Destiny changer. Okay. Come and do a miracle Your name is Yahweh. Name is Yahweh. Miracle working God. Your name is Yahweh. One more. Your name is Yahweh. Your name is Yahweh. Oh, miracle worker. Miracle working God. Your name is Yahweh. So let me do one more song, then I'll jump into my lesson, okay? Everything is looking good based on whatever I need to test for the manufacturer. So let's do the last song. We praise your name, Pentecostal song. All right, Ghanaian Pentecostal song. We praise your name, we praise your name. To you alone, our God. Okay, so let's go. We praise your name, to you alone, our God. On our knees. Okay, let's go. So we praise your name. We praise your name. To you alone, our God. On our knees, we bow to you alone, our God. On our knees, we bow. One more time. We praise. We praise your. Okay. We pray your name to you alone, our God. You guys got it? To you alone. You guys got it? To you alone, our God. You guys got it? So one more. To you alone, our God. On our knees, we bow to you. Okay. To you alone, our God. On our knees, we bow. Another song came in my mind. Let me just do it. May Yeswaye, May Yeswaye, Odo dia domi, Wama di pachime, Meina, yeah, that's a Ghanaian song, African song. May Yeswaye, Odo dia domi, Wama di pachime. Meina, yeah, may Yeswaye, Odo dia domi, Wama di pa, Meina, yeah, Monio, Monio, Monio. Okay. All right. I'm done with the playing part. So now let's jump into Mediclus. Okay. So some of you guys might be wondering, how is this guy getting the sound to us, whatever it is? Okay. Let me explain it to you real quick. Okay. So if you guys see me in the screen, cool. You guys might see me in this screen, right? So you guys see over here, I have two instruments loaded up. Okay. So if you guys, if I zoom in, if I zoom in a bit more, you guys will see I have two instruments loaded. Okay, you guys can see I have two things loaded here. Okay, now you guys cannot see what is on the screen because it's on over here. But actually, let me do it this way. So pretty much, let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this. So now you can see it all. Okay. All right. That was the detachment. I'll explain it to you later. Okay. So some of you guys probably have not seen this look of Midiculous, right? That's probably because you're not on the pro version. Look in this section right here. You see it says version 4.0.12 Pro. You probably don't have the pro version, okay? I never had a pro version until a few days ago, right? I've always been using the player, so don't feel sorry if you don't have the pro. The pro is really for people that really need it, okay? Cool. So looking at this look, okay, you guys might be wondering, why are there two different looks? Because this is not how Midiculous looks, right? Looks like. Let me show you how Midiculous actually looks like. All right. So this is what we are all used to. Okay. We are all used to this look. Okay. We are all used to this look of Midiculous. Okay. At least if you're in the new version, at least. Right. Cool. So all of us are used to this look. Okay. Right. And I'm going to talk to you about this look. But for now, I want to explain something in the DAW before I get out of it. Okay. So let me close this look for now. Actually, yeah, let me close it for now. Cool. All right. So you guys, it says failed to load plugin. Don't worry about it. It's just other plugins. I could always do none, or I could actually use GM and load whatever I want. Anyways, I could put this here and it will show up. It will come. So it's not a big deal, right? So if it says failed to load plugin, don't worry about it. It's probably because one of your plugins failed, okay? Cool. So, all right. Cool. Anyways, why do I have two record enables going on, okay? Well, I like to pick my tones out of my DAW because you realize something said failed to load plugin, right? So some plugins may not pass with the Midiculous software. So and plugin, because you know this is a plugin, right? So what I end up doing is this. In the DAW that I use, I'm a Logic user on Mac and Studio One on Windows. Okay, so if you guys realize, I have this loaded here. This is Midiculous here, and you see Kontakt is also loaded here. Okay, with MK Sensation. Okay, cool. You guys see that? So I have Kontakt here. Then I have Midiculous here. Okay, so what's happening is I'm picking my sound from the Kontakt, okay, here. Okay, that's where my sound is coming from. If I close it, you're not going to hear that sound, okay? You're not going to hear anything. For example, if I take off the record enable, you're not going to hear anything, okay? But what you realize is this. You see, this is moving, but nothing is playing, right? All I'm doing is I'm sending whatever MIDI notes that I'm playing to Midiculous here. You see that? You see, you don't hear any sound. I'm just sending the MIDI notes there. Okay, I'm just kind of tricking the software in a way, right? Just to get what I need. Okay, so if you are in a situation where you're on Windows and you are finding it hard to do those MIDI routing type stuff and it's hard, this is a perfect solution. All right, so you just have to, load whatever will come up in Midiculous and just take off the volume, and yep, you see right here the volume is all the way down. If I bring it up, you're gonna start hearing it. You see that? And if you mute it, you're not gonna hear it. So don't mute it. Just take down the volume. Let it pass through, but just take the volume down, and you cannot hear it. Okay, so remember, don't mute. If you mute, you're not gonna hear. Okay, that makes sense that it should be able to go, but it doesn't. So just don't mute. Just take the volume down, and then it will pass through, okay? So all I'm doing is I'm just doing a through signal, okay? And it's just going through to that. But now watch this. You see you can't hear anything. But if I record enable, the contact, which is this one here, right? I'm going to record enable it. Watch what will happen to Mediclus. You realize at this point it's still not playing, right? I'm going to record enable contact. Watch what happens. You see, it's picking the sounds from contact. Say if I don't like this sound and I wanted to do a drama track. Okay, I was talking to you guys about drums, right? Cool. See? You guys see that? And if I wanted my viewers to see what I'm playing, I have to come here so they can see what I'm playing. Actually, let me do this here. All right. Okay, you guys see that? They can see my kick. That's what I meant, right? I want my viewers to be able to see what I'm doing, okay? Okay, that is just an example, so you guys kind of get an idea. It doesn't mean you have to do it this way or whatever, okay? So, all right, cool. So, what we got? All right, so you can load that up, okay? That's an example of something you can load up. If I wanted to load up some keys, Alicia keys, okay? Okay, you guys want to see Mediclus. We are talking about Mediclus, so let me keep Mediclus up, okay? So here, you see it, right? Right? We in the Twi dialect we have a song like this. Every say, oh yeah, nana do yeah, water. You know, very nice, right? So you guys see why I use it this way, so that I can just be flexible with what I want to do, because I don't want to be limited with not being able to do things. And guess what? In Mediclus, you're not going to be able to record like the DAW. So that's why I use it this way. So if you guys will pay attention to the development and the evolution, the progress of Mediclus, you will realize that Jamal, who's the developer and the creator of the software, the software developer, you realize that he used to do this method. If you guys will pay attention to his stuff, he records through the DAW, then he picks his sounds through the DAW. At the time, Mediclus had not added certain features, right? But the fact that they have done that does not mean you run away from this method, because this method is perfectly good for somebody like me, who's a producer, who like to make beats, right? Because if I'm making beats, I don't want to use Mediclus to make beats. I just need Mediclus to be able to show my keyboard so my piano learners can hear how I play the chords or something like that, right? So let's say if I was doing a song and then oh shoot, let me bring this up, right? Say I was doing a song, right? And I wanted my piano learners to know how I play the chords. Maybe the chords went from a 1-4-5-1 type of movement. So they will see the 1, they will see the 4, they will see the 5, they will see the 1. So if I'm doing the chords, they will see it. 1 1 1 1 4 4 5 5 1 1 1 1. Okay, you guys get it? So this is perfect, right? You are able to see the keys, right? So that's why I use Mediclus for. So again, if you're going to use it through the DAW, that's probably because you want more out of Mediclus, right? Or let me put it this way: you want less out of Mediclus and you want more out of the software, right? If I need Mediclus as a standalone, that's probably because I don't need the software. That's probably because I'll be able to find anything that I need within the things that I pass. But there are certain things that I didn't pass, just maybe one. Okay, let's come to show plugin manager, okay? All right, you guys can see all these has passed, right? But you guys will see, well, this is not connected to my computer. That's why it says failed. If I connect it to my computer, it will pass. But you guys will see this didn't really scan, right? The journeys. It's a pretty nice tone. But again, I'm not going to use this as a journey in Mediclus. Usually if I'm going to use it, I'm going to need it in the DAW, right? So that's what I'm trying to explain. All right, so you guys can see all these scan and passed, right? Again, all right. I'll go through the review. Don't worry about it. We get in there. I just want to stay in the door a little bit. Okay. So again, the advantage Mediclus gives you is this. Mediclus says, hey, if you buy the Pro, you can use it as a standalone, which is right here. Okay, you can use it as a standalone, which is right here. Okay. You guys see it? As a standalone. This is how it looks like. Okay. This is not plug-in. You realize that it doesn't say plug-in here, right? You realize it looks different, right? So that's what Mediclus says. Then he says, hey, even better, you can pull it within your plug-in. Within you can pull it in your door as a plug-in. So guess what? He gives you this. You guys see it looks different, right? And then you have limited stuff when you go to file, right? So you don't have everything you see in file because it's not the main standalone one. But you don't need all that extra stuff because you can tweak those settings before you even come in the door, okay? Cool. And for the most part, everything you need you can find in here. All right? Cool. So you guys get the point, right? So the point is you can use Mediclus as a plugin, okay? So that's what I mainly use it for, so that I can do what I need to really do, okay? Because I really don't use Mediclus as a standalone unless if it is just a straight up lesson where I don't really need things to assist me. Usually I do things to assist me like a drum and all that type stuff, right? Cool. All right, so you guys get the idea with Mediclus, okay? Now, here's the fun part about Mediclus, okay? So in the door, can you detach? Let's find out. Well, you right click on your keys, you click detach keys. Bam. Look at it. It detached. Wow. You guys see that? Okay. Can you detach your score? Detach your cord. Let's find out. Wow. Look at that. So you guys see the key disappeared, right? That's because I didn't pin it. If I pin it, it's not going to disappear. Okay? So if you don't pin it, you don't really need to pin it. Depends on what you're going to be doing, right? For what I do, I don't need to pin it, right? But for your setup, you might need to pin it. But for my setup, I don't really need to pin it because I do it through my DAW and it works fine. All right? So you guys see that. I have it detached. It's right here. It's detached. If I pin it here, boom, it stays in place. Right? Here, I detach my score. Okay? And guess what? Oh, hold on. Detach. All right? And it's right there, right? So the point is, can you detach? Yes, you can. Okay? All right? And you can bring all those back up. Okay? You can bring all those back up. Oh, I have it pinned. All right? So you guys see it, right? It's all right there. All right? If you want to take it back and you don't know how to do it, well, guess what? Just close it out. Boom, it goes back. Close it out. Boom, it goes back. Close it out. Boom, it goes back. Okay? As simple as that. Okay? So in the DAW, as a plugin, it does all that. If you want to use your external VSTs or external plugins, you guys know how to go through the process. I'll go through that process in the the standalone plugin. Okay, so you guys get the idea here, right? So the other, let me talk about that in the main thing. Okay, so here as a plugin, this is all I want to talk about. Okay, cool. So let's close this, and now let's get to the standalone. Okay, so as a standalone. Okay, as a standalone. Okay, so here, as a standalone, all right, it looks like this. Okay, that's how Mediclus looks like as a standalone. Okay, all right, I'm using two monitors. I just have it in one monitor and the streaming in another monitor. Okay, so here, you're gonna see Mediclus like this. Let me tell you the most important things you need to know. Right, half of the times you're not gonna be worrying about anything over here, except when you are dealing with bringing in LMS lessons. That's the only time you're going to worry about that, right? Most cases, I've seen it loads to the 2, but I'll show you guys all that stuff, all right? So here, so what is the Pro version for? Realize when I was in the DAW, when I went to file, I had only two options. But guess what? Over here, you have many things, right? Because this is the whole thing. And it says make LMS, right? So you can make your own lessons, okay? If we don't know what LMS is, let's go type it in. Let's go find out what that is. A lot of you guys don't like to research and learn. So today we are going to do the learning together. Okay? So what is LMS meaning? And let's see what it means. All right, it's a digital terminology. So here it says learning management system, okay? A learning management system is a digital learning environment that manages all aspects of a company's various training efforts, okay? So it's a digital form of training. Let's put it that way, okay? All right, so that's what LMS stands for. If you don't know what it means, well, guess what? Learning management system. Got it? All right, so we've learned that. Cool. Now, if you're probably here, you probably have Midclass already, or you're probably very close to getting it, the pro version, or you've been using the player version because it's free, right? I will encourage you, get a pro version if you need it for more things, okay? If you have any concerns and you want to ask me personally, you can reach out to me, studio@liveforchristnetworks.com, or our contact is on our page. Reach out to us and I'll explain it to you if you need any explanation. Anyways, so when you come in Mediclus, okay, you see this interface, okay, you see something over here, okay, it gives you an arrow. You don't need to worry so much about this, but this is really for when a student is learning, okay, whenever you have files loaded up. So it's like a file, I don't know how to put it, but anyways, it's a file browser. Where you can add maybe if you have a song you want to learn, you add the file. It's on this screen. I can't put it because I have personal stuff. But anyways, you guys can tell here, right? All right. So, you pull your files in there and then start learning your songs or whatever. You can load multiple, right? That's why it says S here. You can load multiple. All right. So that's that. And then you can always save your work so you can come back to it later. Okay. All right. So it's kind of like your classroom kind of thing, right? Your classroom or your homework browser or whatever. Okay, then over here you have your some music music tools, okay, to help you understand what you are doing, especially if you are doing a lesson where it has all these things recorded. It's actually going to read those things. If the song is in F, it's going to say F, whatever, the tempo, whatever, and so forth, okay? And of course, you can change the volume of that audio that's playing, okay? All right. And here, you guys realize I told you guys about why my keys are all red, right? In the other one, okay? So over here, if I click split key, okay, let me see. Okay, all right. I have to go through more settings to get that done. But if I ever did that, okay, what that would mean is, right here, I have to do my left color. So you guys see it's on none. So if it's on none, it's just going to show what I have loaded, right? But if I set it to split key, okay, what's going to happen is I'd have to come here, go to my my color, and then say I want my right to be maybe red. Oh, it's already there. Okay, and I want my left. It's already there like that. Okay, you guys can see it's already red and blue. Okay, it's already there by default, but you can change whatever color you want. The reason why you guys don't see it really is because I have my octave lowered. But if I take it away from my octave, I wonder. Let me see. Color, choose. Yeah. interesting. Okay, so no, I don't want to do. Yeah, I don't want to do it by the MIDI split. I want to do it by the key split. Okay. Um. Let me see. If I change. Okay, okay. So what's happening is I'm getting confused here. All right, it's reversed. It's reversed. Okay, so I'm doing my left shouldn't be that. It's reversed. I don't like it that way. Anyways, let me just show you real quick here. So I can say I want green to be my left. Okay, I can say that. Okay, that's why I'm getting confused. All right, and I can say I want red to be my right. Okay, that's why I'm getting confused because I'm using the mouse, I'm not really touching, so that's why I can't see it. Okay, so here green, here red. So let's say if I was doing chords, you will see my left hand do this, so it will give you the idea that these two greens are the bass or something like that. You get it? So that's why you might want to split it, so that way, so when you're playing, so they can see the two colors, one representing the bass. Okay. You guys got it? Okay. I just have it set to 1. So for now, let's take it back to our red. No. Nope. Green is cool, but that's not what I want to use. So let's go back to our red. Okay, cool. So here, so as simple as red. Sometimes I might split it, but for now I won't split it. So anyways, here is where you're going to deal with your split. How do I split my keyboard? My keyboard is showing all reds. How can I split it? Well, guess what? You come right here. You see where it says none? Just click it and then just pick split key. You can do MIDI split. You can do MIDI split if you want to be very specific with, you know, the different ranges. Okay, I don't want to do that. I just want to keep it simple to key split. Okay, because the key split, if you come in preferences here, it deals with all those things for you to know where it's split and the split point and all that stuff. Okay, so again, I'm not really going to worry about that too much. I keep most things at default and then just modify. Here, octave. Let me teach you guys octave. So say you're playing your keyboard, right? Very important for you guys to understand this concept, okay? Say you're playing your keyboard, right? Excuse me. Say you're playing your keyboard and you're able to see it. Very nice. It's good, right? But guess what? When you play your lowest note, you see you can see it, right? But guess what? Sometimes we want to change the octave on our keyboard, okay? That's what we do. Because if you change it here, watch. It will not do anything to your keyboard. So most times, we would like to change it on our keyboard. So for now, while I'm playing the same note, it's a C3. But guess what happens? When I go down an octave on my keyboard, watch what happens. It becomes a C2. If I go down more, you see that? So the point I'm trying to tell you here is this. Sometimes you might have your octave lower. Like right now, if I'm doing this, you see, you can see all the keys in front of you. But sometimes I might have it lowered, the octave lowered, and what I'm playing might not appear there. And it might look like this. Okay, so say something like this. See, there's something I'm playing here, but you guys don't see it. It's not showing up, right? You guys see it? See, I'm playing keys. You guys see keys registering, right? But it's not showing up, right? It's -2 on my keyboard. So if I come here and I click -2, even -1, it might sometimes bring it depending on where you're playing. But I have -2, so change it to -2. See? And now it's playing. You guys can see it. So it's always going to be at 0. But depending on where you have your octave set to, make sure you change the octave in the DAW if you want to see it, because I had this problem a few years ago, so I already know how to how to deal with this. Okay, so make sure if you are going to be dealing with low notes, say you are playing more in the low notes, or you have a band playing and you are playing the bass like on the left, right? It's registering, but you're not seeing it, right? Well, guess what? If you have it set to net -2, take it to -2, and so on. Okay, most keyboards can go to -3. Mine goes to -2. Okay, so you know, set it there so you can see it. Okay. Okay. All right. You guys get a point? All right, cool. So that is that. Okay. So what do we got next? Okay, here we got our chord. Okay, our chord reader. Here we got our score reader. Okay, score reader. Okay. All right, the treble clef, the bass clef, whatever you play, it shows up in there. If you don't know how to read notes, this is a good way to learn. Play a C chord and look at how a C chord may look like. Okay. Okay, let me take it off the octave. Play a C chord and see how a C chord may look like. Okay, you can play it in the bass clef to see how it looks like too. Okay, or you can play both and see how a C chord looks like. Play an F and see how a F look like, or even here and see how an F look like. Play a G, look at how a G looks like. Okay, this is a good way to educate yourself and learn a little bit. Okay, if you don't know how to read music. Okay, this is a good way. All right, so that is all I'm going to talk about in here. Of course, there are more things that you could work, you can deal with here. I'm not going to worry about that. Now, there is a good thing that I want to talk to you guys about this system. You guys see it says views here, right? There is something called LMV. Okay, it's the same thing as an LMS, but with a video. So say I'm doing a music video lesson here. Then I have the video version of it, which is where you can see me talking and all that stuff, right? Then I have the LMS version of it, which is the document version of it. Okay, so when I put in the document version of it in here, you guys will be able to see my face and everything. So for example, if I was to switch the view right now, you guys don't see anything. I have to load it up. If I do, you guys will be able to see multiple views. Okay, you guys can cycle through views. So this is what views stand for. For now, you won't see anything, but once you have a lesson loaded, okay, it's for learning. It's a tool for learning. So once you have a lesson loaded, you have a video view where the video is just right here. Okay, the video is just going to be right here, and then you can see the chords and then the notes. You see this red thing right here? The notes are going to be in that region. Okay, so it works that way, something like that. Okay, all right, so you'll be able to cycle through views. I don't want to waste a lot of times. I think you guys get the point. Okay, all right, so while we are in here, let's talk about a few things. So there are two things. By default, whenever you come, your instrument is going to be set to real keys. Real keys look like this. Okay, it's nice, not too bad, right? But I think most of you guys are looking for that vector keys. I'll advise you use vector keys, because sometimes my keys were not showing in vector keys. It's fine. You guys see it? Okay, it's very nice. Okay, all right, so vector keys is just more richer. Okay, real keys is fine too. You guys see how my key is stuck? You guys see how my key is stuck here? You guys saw it? How my key was stuck? So if you're getting, you guys see it? It's stuck, right? You guys see that? Right? None of us want that, right? So I would advise you, don't do real keys, do vector keys, and you won't see that problem anymore. You guys see that? All right, so I can tell the Pro version is really optimized for the vector keys. They anticipated more people to use the vector keys. So if you're going to do real keys, it's almost like you're going to step back. So stay away from that, and make sure the first thing you do when you pick up Medicless is go in the instrument and change it to vector keys. That is the magic of the software. Okay, you guys see how much richer it is, right? This looks a bit more neutral, you know, a bit more standard, and then you look at the vector and like, ooh, pop, right? Of course, it cuts a little bit of this bar here, but hey, they got to make more space to make some things pop a little bit, right? So again, real keys look like that, vector keys look like that. Okay, so again, if you see it, No problem. All right. I had this issue, okay? And so thanks to Nicholas for providing this. It solved it, okay? So if you guys are having that problem where the keys keep getting stuck, well, guess what? That's probably because you are in real keys. Change it to vector keys, okay? Because it's really optimized for that. Cool. So what other things do they have? They have all these instruments. If you want to see an organ, guess what? You got an organ for you. You're not going to hear it because I don't have an organ loaded. You're only going to hear what I have loaded, okay? You see I have the DX7 loaded, okay? You guys can see DX7 right here. Look. Right here, DX7. That's what I have loaded. That's what you're hearing. Okay, so if I had an organ loaded, you hear the sound of an organ and everything, right? Okay, so I'm not really worried about that. Anyways, they have an organ for you. Okay, so they got MIDI organs. Okay, similar to that. Okay, they have guitars. Okay, if you want to see how a guitar looks like if you're playing, you saw how C looked like. Now look at how C looked like on a guitar. That's C on a guitar. Of course, you're gonna have a guitar sound and it's gonna look realistic for you. If you're playing acoustic, and you're gonna hear the guitar sound, okay? So if you're doing a guitar sound and you want it to look like a guitar, hey, you got yourself a guitar. Teach people how to play guitar. Of course, you're not a real guitar teacher, so don't get ahead of yourself. Bass, okay? If you want to see the bass, similar to the guitar, okay? Same thing. It does the same thing, okay? The bass guitar, okay? So that was a 4-string. This is a 5-string, okay? Same thing, okay? And then we have MIDI drums, okay? So MIDI drums, okay? Say you had a drums loaded, okay? I'm not going to change it because I want the lesson to be fast. But say, okay. All right, say you had drums loaded and you wanted to play. Yeah, right now I don't have anything loaded, but you see, it will play it. You guys see it? Okay, you guys got it? So if you wanted that, well, guess what? You have it in front of you. All right. Most times I'm never using any of those because I can get that and better in my DAW. So I'm not really worried about that. All right. So most cases do have vector selected, okay? Vector key selected. Very important, okay? Cool. So you can choose to show all this. So maybe you're looking at your keyboard, you're like, oh, I'm doing a pitch bend. Oh, I like my pitch bend to show to my viewers. I don't see it. I don't see it. Well, guess what? When you right-click your keyboard and you go to show, right here, it's right there. So once I move it, you guys can see it now, right? You guys can see both of the modular, the mod wheel, okay? You see my mod wheel? You guys see it moving? I'm moving on my keyboard, right? Right? And then I have it. Okay? Maybe you're playing some notes here. You're like, oh man, it's hiding. I don't want it. Well, guess what? You just right click and click hide, and down it shows. Okay? So very useful. Okay? So you got to pick when you need it and when you don't. So if you're playing more in the lower ranges, you probably want to take it off. But if you're playing more in these ranges, okay, maybe probably a limit here. Okay? All right, probably there will be your limit. That C, this C here will be your limit, probably. So go ahead and show it at that point, okay? And I think that's fair enough, okay? Let that C be the second C on an 88 keyboard be your limit, okay? But if you're gonna go beyond that, please hide it, okay? Or it's not gonna look good, okay? Cool. All right. Besides that, you have all these things you can enable. I'm not going to go through all that. You guys can kind of make sense out of that. All right. I'm not going to talk about any of these. Sustain hold. What that means is this. When I click my sustain, it holds the note. If I don't do that, watch what happens. It goes away. It still sustains, but it doesn't hold it. You see? You hear the sustain? If I don't do sustain, it's a pick. If I do sustain, it's sustaining, but it doesn't hold it, right? So if I do sustain hold, it holds it. so my viewers can see what key I'm playing, right? Because it's a learning tool, it's not a show-off tool, right? So you need to make sure you're able to have your students learn and all that stuff, okay? All right, cool. Solfege. So this is the good thing. I teach a lot of African musicians how to play the piano and stuff like that. Some of them don't really know the number system like that, right? If you tell them a 1, 5, 6, whatever, they might not really be used to it. A lot of them are used to the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do type stuff, right? So guess what? You have a solfege in 2 versions, okay? So if I go to version 1, you guys realize something when I'm playing the chords? It's just letters, right? Letters. All you see is letters, right? Well, guess what? Solfege. Version 1, watch what you see. Okay, and then it also writes the C3 and C1, C2, C3 type stuff as do 1, do 2, do 3, and that kind of do whatever. Okay, you guys get it? All right, and then you have the version 2, okay, where it just writes the notes slightly different. Okay, okay, you guys see how it writes it a little bit different, but similar stuff. Okay, so you can choose to do that, right? I have it turned off for now because I'm not really interested in that at the moment, but sometimes I will use it if I'm doing a full lesson on something. All right, cool. So that is everything you need to know about Medicless. And of course, there is a sustain pedal here. Okay, you guys can see it. If you want to change the color of that, you go in here, change the color of that. If you want it to match, just simply click match, so all the time it can match to your keys, so it looks good. Okay, you don't want unmatching color, so it doesn't look too good. Okay, cool. So I think at this point we have learned everything in here. Of course, there's a volume here if you want to, make your sound go higher and all that. I don't mess with it because it's not necessary for me. All right, so preferences. One way to get to it is file, preferences, or this little wheel right here. Okay, same thing. All right, so let's go through it from the file side. Let's go down the list. New playlist. Okay, if you click new playlist, it just resets everything and it gives you the chance to load your project and all that, and after that you save your work. Okay, so that's what that means. This is save. Okay, so once you do it, it's gonna save. Okay, once you go through your playlist here, add your stuff, then you go ahead and save your work, and then it's gonna save under whatever that playlist name was. Okay, if you can click open playlist, hold on, let me see. Open playlist. All right, it will bring your file browser, then you load in whatever you need. Okay, all right, open media files. You guys can get the idea. You're still opening to go get some files, maybe a video, whatever. Okay, and then you can save your playlist, save as. You guys get a point. You can create LMS lessons. Okay, so what that means is, remember I told you you can load in the LMS and the LMV. This is where that comes into play. So say I made a video, okay, and then I recorded the MIDI of whatever I was playing, right? So guess what? When I come in here, my video will go here, and then my MIDI stuff will go here. Then I create an LMS. It's gonna do it by itself, right? So it's like an LMS generator. Okay, so with this, it's gonna be like whenever you bring it in, it's going to show like a video, but it has MIDI notes behind it. You guys get it? So it's going to be like LMS and then LMV, okay? But if you just want LMS, yeah, you can just do LMS, okay? That one is not a hard thing. You just basically make a MIDI in your DAW, and that's it, dot MIDI, okay? All right, so that is that. Okay, occasionally you can go ahead and check for new versions. You're all up to date. Great. All right. And then lessons. Okay, they have lessons online. Okay, if you want to go there, purchase some and start learning, great. If you want to purchase Medicless, okay, you just have to go to gospelmusicians.com. When you get there, click Medicless. All right, free player, free Medicless 4, free player, free, $0. You don't pay anything. Go in there and get it. But if you want what I'm using, this is what you're gonna need. Okay, with this, all you need to do is download this free player. Then after that, when you do the I'll talk about that shortly. Okay, so this MIDI 4 Pro expansion, I'm going to be talking about that. So just remember that when you click on it. So let me tell you guys this. If you click on Free Player, this is what it tells you. These are all the things that you have in here, okay? But say I wanted to do, let me see. Say I wanted to do Mediclus 4-player expansion. See, don't get confused with these two. Do not get confused with these two. Don't be money greedy and get yourself in trouble. See, you might have 4 free player. You might think, wow, player expansion. No, do not let player expansion fool you. Pro expansion is there. Player expansion is there. Don't let player expansion fool you. You need a pro expansion because it's the same thing. You get more. The full effect is here. Do not get this. But like I say, you make that mistake and you wanted to get this. Well, guess what it says? Before you get it, please read. Read. Look at what you get in the player version. This is what you get in the pro version. Okay, so that means you don't, in the free version, you don't get these things. Whereas these things are added to the pro version. Okay? Remember that always. Do not be careful just purchasing or you're going to purchase the wrong one. Okay? But if you come in the pro, it's the same notes. It tells you the player version, pro version, and same notes out there. Okay? So just be careful. Okay? Something like the 88 key, you don't get in the free version. Okay? In the player version, you don't get the 88 key. But in the pro version, it doesn't say, but you do get it. Okay? All right. You may get 88 in player version. I haven't downloaded it, so I don't know. But anyways, the point is use pro version. Okay, you get more out of it. Okay, cool. All right. So besides that, okay, we've talked about everything over here. So now let's talk about preferences. All right. So with preferences in your settings, I would advise you leave everything the same unless if you need to specifically do certain things a certain way. Okay, so leave everything by default the same as you see it. Okay, the solfege, you see we saw it in here. This is another place to deal with it. Okay, you can choose what you want to be your middle C. If I go C3 is my middle C. If I choose C2 to my middle C, right? Okay, these are just profiles. Okay, so middle C is fine. If you want C4 to be your middle C, you click this. All right. All right. Here, you know, if you want to see just flats, then you click flats. If you want to see just sharps, you click sharps. But if you do key signature, it will do it according to the circle of fifths and what the appropriate notation is. Okay, so keep it on key signature. If you want to just see flats, then you do flats. If you want to see just sharps, you do just sharps. Okay, and by that I mean when your notes are playing, you don't see this in the background. Let me just show you. So you guys see this? You know, it's a combination of everything, okay? But by default, you're going to see more flats, but, you know, here. But if you come to sharps, guess what happens? You see all sharps, okay? All right? Because remember, notations are in sharps and flats, okay? And if you do this, you're going to see something similar to the key signature. So just keep it on key signature, okay? I don't really mess with any of these things, but if you want to, you can. The most important thing out of this section is sustain hold. You might not have it on, just stick it on, okay? All right. UI size. The higher you go, the bigger this thing is going to get, and it's going to get out of your screen. So I'd advise you don't touch anything. The highest you should go is probably a 2080 by 980, okay? And that will look just like it looks right now, okay? So by default, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. You don't need to really size anything, okay? So just make sure you click 1280. You guys saw what happened, right? So as I'm doing this and I clicked out of the box, guess what? This unchecked. So be careful. That means you don't really need to be in the box. It actually unchecks from the size too. So be careful, okay? You guys saw that, right? So be careful, okay? Be careful. All right, so you don't mess up your settings. All right, so that's something new learned. Be careful. All right. automatically check new version. I would advise you to have it on so every time you open it, if there's a new version, it will alert you so you update. Okay. Of course, if you mess up, just click reset to defaults and you get to go. Okay, audio. Okay, audio. By default, I've seen that some people will say on Windows have it at ASIO. I'd advise you to do that. But for me, like I said, I don't use it for the purpose of picking sound out of Ridiculous directly. But if you are, probably set it to ASIO, okay? All right, ASIO driver. But these are your best friends, Windows Audio and ASIO Audio, okay? Either one of those are fine, okay? But ASIO is probably the preferred method, okay? Of course, you pick your speaker here. That's where you pick your speaker. Your sample rate based on the sample rate you're using. Say I'm in a DAW and I'm using 44.1. Okay, this probably is going to just show the 48. Okay, because I have a hard fix to that on my system. So it's just going to show that. But your system, you might be able to, you might see 44.1. Don't worry about it. It's good. 44.1, 4800 is all good. Okay, cool. Buffer size, you might want to adjust it. Okay, my system is a custom build PC, so it can handle any of these. Okay, but I just have it by default wherever it's set to. Okay, MIDI output. Okay, I won't worry so much about MIDI output. Okay, yeah, I won't worry so much about it. That is if you want to output your MIDI sound that you are playing to maybe another another thing that you have connected. I don't have anything connected. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, here is where you pick your MIDI source. Okay, all right. I told you guys, loop MIDI. Loop MIDI is the preferred method for most people because, on Mac, I've learned that Mac has that loop MIDI power and Windows don't. So some people might choose to, use loop MIDI. I decided not to because I'm not really getting much out of it. I've downloaded it. It's not working for me. So that's why I showed you the method that I use in the beginning, and it works fine. Okay, so I don't really need to loop anything. I just got to fool the system or fool Ridiculous software a little bit with what I showed you. Okay, all right. Channels, just have everything selected. Okay, have everything selected. At the very least, have channel 1 and 2 or channel 1 selected, but have everything selected for more safety. All right, repitch. I don't deal with anything here. If you want to, go for it. All right, so that is everything you need to know about Ridiculous. Okay, a lot of things that you can do with it. Okay, so you see how this background is white. You can come to the background color, change it to red. I'm not going to mess with any of that. Okay, if you want to change the foreground color, you can do all that. Okay, or you can always do same as colors and all that type stuff. Okay, they always have the same as so that you can match things. Okay, all right. So you can always change background and change all that type stuff. Okay, so I think for the most part, this is everything you need to know about Ridiculous. Okay, all right. I hope this has helped you in a lot of ways. Okay. All right, so this is my full review about Ridiculous. I've done one before, and I just wanted to take time this time around to really go through the Pro because the time that I did it was just the player version, but with the Pro version, you're getting a lot more. So should you get a Pro? Here's my advice. Okay, here's my advice. Here's my honest advice. Okay. 1 second. Here's my honest advice. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So here's my honest advice. Should you get Ridiculous? If you are the type that just need a piano to just show you what you are playing, like just to show you what you're playing, simply go to the website. Okay, simply go to the website. Okay, Ridiculous. Even if you go to Google, even if you don't know it, it's Gospel Musicians. But if you don't know it, just type in Ridiculous. in Google, and it's going to take you there. Okay, so if you go, oh, not this. If you go, it's going to take you here. Okay, all right, or gospelmusicians.com, as simple as that. Then go to Mediclus. Okay, if you are the type of person I just explained, this is what you need to go for, the free player version, because you're not going to need much. Okay, so you click this, click add to cart, and then it's going to ask you to put in your check it out and put in your email and that type stuff, and just go ahead and do all that stuff. Okay, all right, I'm not going to log into my account, I don't need to. All right, now that is for somebody who just need to show keys, right? If you just need to show keys, or you need to learn lessons, say somebody send you a lesson, you just need to pretty much load it up and just learn, the player version is going to get that done for you. Okay, well, for you to create, if you want to create lessons, if you want to use this as a way of making money, or like, as a teacher, or, as the advanced type stuff, if you need these advanced features or these pro features, like the detaching the keyboard and all that stuff, right? If you need all that, all right, then my advice to you, okay, if you need all that, then my advice to you is go for the pro expansion. Now, if you go for the 4-player expansion, that's what's going to get you to do all the things I explained, like actually be able to receive MIDI input, the ability to load LMS lessons. Okay, this is when you get those things. Okay, so the free expansion, the player expansion will get you that. Okay, but the pro expansion will get you the full effect. Not just that, but to detach and all the other stuff, okay? And actually bring in your plugins and all those type stuff, okay? So understand what you get with the player and then the pro, okay? So what am I talking about here? If you're somebody who just need to show keys, okay? Keys on the keyboard, okay? Well, all you need is this right here, okay? All you need is this right here, okay? The player free. Okay, player free. Okay, free player. That's all you need. But if you're somebody who need to load lessons and learn and all that type stuff, right? Like LMV lessons, LMS lessons, as it says here. Okay, if you're somebody who needs to do that, okay, then what you need is the player expansion. Okay, player expansion. But if you're somebody who needs to do more than that, detach and all the stuff that I explained, then this is what you need to go for. Okay, so I hope this helps you to really get the idea. Okay, all right, so that is it. That is it. So I would advise you, if you are interested in this product, do not wait on it. It's a very good software. I've used it for years, and I know it's going to help you, and it's going to change things for you. All right, well, guys, this will do it. This was like a very quick review a very quick review on Mediclus, to help those of you guys who are interested in learning more about this software. Okay, it's a very good software. Okay, it's a very good software. Okay, so I have somebody who asked me, the solfege, is it movable? Let me see. It looked fixed to me, as in the do should depend on the key you are playing for movable though. Yeah, I didn't really mess so much with the solfege mode. I would think, for most part, for most parts, when we are doing, so whenever we are doing songs, we will always say, so let's say you are doing a song with somebody, you tell them go to maybe let me see, so sometime we might say go to. So sometimes when I say go to, maybe I don't the song, I'll be like do la mi, do la mi. So do la mi, that the software will allow you to show your viewers what do la mi is, right? So do la mi, do la mi, do la mi. Okay, Okay, so it all, I didn't quite get your question, but I would think that's what you mean. If that's not, let's have a private conversation so I can clarify it, or we can get to the bottom of your question. But yeah, for the most part, it will show you do la mi. Do I have it here? Okay, so you guys might not be able to see. So the question the question from our brother is here. I don't know if you guys can see it. He asked the question here, okay, in this section here. Okay, is it movable? Okay, well, you see, when we go to the solfege and we do the version, I said do, what did I even say? Do, la, mi. Okay, do, la, mi. Okay, so if we did this one, okay, I mean, that would be like the do, okay, the do. I know I'm inverting it, so it's hard to explain, but let me just do the straightforward. So like the do, I said do, la, mi. So do, la. So this is la minor. This is the regular la. So I mean la minor, okay, la minor, and then mi minor. Okay, so do, la minor, mi minor. Okay. 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 So do, la minor, mi minor. That's what I meant to say, right? So that is one version of it. Okay, but the other version will do this. Okay, so do, la minor, mi minor. Okay, so a lot of times, anyways, so I hope you get the point I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to say here is it's going to display what you want to teach. So if I wanted to say, hey, you go to do, go to la, go to la minor, so la minor, and then go to mi, so go to la, and then so la minor, mi. And I don't know if I haven't really been doing solfege, so some of you guys may have different ways you might call la minor. I don't know, especially in Ghana, because I hear some crazy terms. So I hear some crazy terms in Ghana, so you guys might have some things you call these things, but for the most part, the basics of it, do, la minor, mi minor. Okay, it will give you all that, just like C. So just like if you take off that solfege, then it will tell you C, and it will tell you A minor, and then it will tell you E minor. Okay. Same thing. All right. So that is the notation version. That's the solfege version. Okay. I think one thing I may like to see in here is if they have a number system. That would be cool. That might be cool. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. I think a number system would be cool to have too, because we have the notation, then we have the solfege system. Then it would be nice to have the number system. It's not too bad. Anyways. So I hope that helps you get the idea of how this works out. Okay. All right, guys. Well, this will do it for the lesson. I hope no one had a question. I hope so. Yeah, I don't see any questions other than this one. All right. So you guys have a good one, and I hope this helps you. I hope you've been enlightened. I hope it blesses you. All right. Remain blessed until next time. Bye-bye.